on Newsource at 5. The Super Bowl came down to the wire last night as a former UGA quarterback won his first title after 13 years in the league. In honor of Black History Month, we visited historic Black-owned businesses in the Athens area to see how they have lasted so long. And happy Valentine's Day! We take a look at one of the busiest industries of the holiday. All that at 5 on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Tier, and this is Grady Newsource at 5. We hope you had a great Super Bowl Sunday. The Los Angeles Rams definitely did, as they defeated the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 23-20 in Super Bowl 56. We now go live to Grady Newsource reporter Cole Acock for some insight. Cole, what were some of the big storylines following the Super Bowl?
Look at camera 2. Lauren, one of the biggest storylines following the Rams Super Bowl victory is former UGA quarterback Matthew Stafford capturing his first Super Bowl. The journey for Stafford to obtain this Super Bowl, however, was not easy. He spent his first 12 seasons as a member of the Detroit Lions before being traded to the Rams this past summer. According to ProFootballReference.com, Stafford did not win a single playoff game in his time with the Lions. After all of that disappointment, Stafford won 4 playoff games just this year and finished off the season as a Super Bowl champion.
Cole, obviously Matthew Stafford lived up to the hype playing in such a big game, but did the Super Bowl as a whole live up to the expectations this year?
Lauren, many believe this Super Bowl did live up to the expectations. The game was exciting, and it took a last-minute touchdown for the Rams to win. Also, there were many positive reactions to the much-anticipated halftime show. LeBron James himself went to Twitter and expressed that this halftime show was the best that he has ever seen. Other celebrities, such as John Legend and Lady Gaga, expressed their pleasing with the Super Bowl halftime show. So overall, it was an entertaining game, and many believe that the halftime show was just as entertaining.
Marquez Williams is known as the sock guy to people that don't know him. But to his former coach, Mark Richt, and University of Miami teammates, he's known as Pop. Grady Newsource reporter Anna Hughes spoke with Williams on life after football and his socks company, Pop's Socks.
Marquez Williams has played football since he was 4 years old. But after his time in the NFL, while playing for the Houston Roughnecks, he knew he wanted to do more.
So when I was in Houston, a lot of my teammates had things that they were doing outside of football. And I just noticed that I didn't have anything that I was doing, at the time, doing well.
He thought about his passion, socks. From there, he decided to found a sock company centered around fun, quirky, and unique socks. The socks have many different designs, from superheroes to Black Lives Matter. Williams' most recent hit has been the UGA National Championship socks. Sealy's Clothing in downtown Athens is the first store where Williams began selling socks. He later expanded to other local stores and built a social media following. He decided to run his company out of his hometown, Athens, but it's also where he wanted to raise his daughter. Williams spends his days doing both.
It's been quite the journey, but it's been one that I wouldn't trade for the world. Especially having my daughter, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn about life itself as well.
Williams recently received his first international orders on his website, popsocks.com, a big step in the right direction for his business. For Grady Newsource, I'm Anna Hughes.
It's Black History Month, where the accomplishments of Black Americans are honored. One contribution is the increase of businesses in Georgia during the pandemic. Grady Newsource reporter Brianna Smith explores why we see this increase.
As people celebrate Black History Month with informational programs or history lessons, nail technician Laquan, aka Q Cunningham, is hard at work making history of her own. She is among the 38% of Black business owners who started businesses from January 2020 to August 2021 during the pandemic, and that number is growing. Cunningham says she opened shop in November 2020 after realizing that working a corporate job and under someone was unfulfilling.
I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I had no idea where to start. I didn't know how to start. I knew I had a passion. And I also had the business side as well because I went to college.
Terry Dennison says that Black people are opening more personal businesses because there is a limitation to grow and innovate in the corporate structure.
Entrepreneurship is something that is a viable option for us, but it's all yours, not just a fraction or part of it.
Now there are over 300,000 Black-owned businesses in Georgia. Cunningham says her business creates generational wealth that she can control, something her mother didn't get the opportunity to have.
We didn't have like a lot of encouraging words from like my mother, my grandmother.
Cunningham says she is paying this encouragement forward by providing nail classes and a safe space for women. Although it is Black History Month, she says that Black businesses should not just be supported for 1 month.
Black people don't just exist and work for 1 month. We're out here every day. We're out here grinding every day.
Brianna Smith, Grady Newsource.
The main issues of the General Assembly this year have been budget issues, critical race theory in the classroom, gun laws, and free speech zones across college campuses. But one state senator sees distracted driving as a higher demand. Grady Newsource reporter Hallie Turner has the latest.
The Georgia General Assembly passed the hands-free law in 2018, where Georgians are not allowed to operate their phones from behind the wheel. Even with this bill in place, the number for distracted driving has risen over the years. A yearly report from the Georgia Department of Driving Services shows distracted driving at a low in 2010, with only 2,115 incidences. And in 2021, it shows at an all-time high of 57,605. The trend law enforcement and legislators have noticed are people using their phone when at a stoplight or stop sign. Senator Frank Ginn attempted to find a middle ground. The senator proposed a piece of legislation that would allow Georgians to use their phone when they make a complete stop at an intersection.
People are hiding their phones. They're looking down there at their knee. Said they hold their phone, trying to keep it out of sight of law enforcement because they know they're breaking the law.
He's after two things: to help the flow of traffic and to help law enforcement only pull over those who are on their phones with a vehicle in motion. However, opponent like Sheriff James Hale from the Oconee County Sheriff's Department says it would not help traffic flow because most of the accidents they deal with in Oconee County are from rear-end wrecks at red lights.
At the stoplight, they get enthralled in whatever's going on that cell phone, and they're not paying attention to the light change, and then the cars in front of them go.
The Athens-Clarke County Police Department released a tweet in January. This tweet showed that during an observation and enforcement over near the Barnett Shoals area resulted in 47 instances of distracted driving within the last 4 years. Currently, the bill is with the Public Safety Committee awaiting a vote before heading to the House. With Grady Newsource, I'm Hallie Turner.
Community members are taking matters into their own hands after limited response from the Athens-Clarke County School Board following Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary's removal of a student's Rainbow Pride artwork and administration's comparison of the art to Nazi symbolism. Grady Newsource reporter Danielle Burrows has more.
I am here at the Forest Heights Baptist Church parking lot, which is just across the street from Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary. It is also the place where parents and community leaders came together to discuss a plan to reach common ground following the incident.
Oglethorpe Avenue parents, teachers, and school officials met Saturday to repair the relationship between the community and the district. The Athens Alliance Coalition is an organization that works to fix community issues, and the president of the organization says they have good communication with the schools.
I think because they know we're a fair organization, we're not looking for no drama, no trouble, and all that stuff. We just want to make things right because it involves kids.
Attorney at the child's family, Jeffrey A. Jackson, has published a list of demands to the school, including the immediate removal of the principal, and was among the participants at the meeting.
We'd just like to mention that what transpired at Oglethorpe was wrong on so many levels. It's not the tip of the iceberg, straw that broke the camel's back. It's been incident after incident at Oglethorpe and the larger Clarke County School District.
This comes after parents and teachers protested for school board action at the county school board meeting Thursday. The Athens-Clarke County School District has investigated the incident and disagrees that the staff members should be subject to visible disciplinary action. However, it has stated that it wholeheartedly condemns the reference and apologizes for the harm the events have caused. The statement goes on to say that it absolutely and unequivocally supports its LGBTQIA+ community and prohibit discrimination or harassment on the basis of sexual orientation. The Athens-Clarke County School Board has met with staff at Oglethorpe Avenue to discuss the climate and culture of the school and connected with President of Athens Pride and Director of School Counseling to implement diversity training. The Athens Alliance Coalition plans to continue meetings. From Grady Newsource, I'm Danielle Burrows.
Coming up, a UGA professor discovers a gene on bacteria that causes antibiotic resistance in the most deadly of infections. Find out ways in which you can help reduce resistance.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
We scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Have you ever wondered what lies in the dark depths of the sewers? Grady Newsource reporter Abby Buston tells us how one stenchy finding might save lives.
We step over them every day, yet we don't realize it says a lot about us. For University of Georgia assistant professor Ismat Kasem, sewer water was and is the perfect way to sample his hypothesis.
What if the bacterium is now becoming resistant to those last resort antibiotics? And then we go back to the original story. We found a gene.
The gene, named MCR9, causes bacteria to be resistant to one of the world's most important antibiotics, colistin. Colistin is the last resort antibiotic used to treat severe multi-drug resistant infections. MCR, first discovered overseas, is now located right under your feet. Kasem found MCR9 using this dye while sampling sewer water on the first try.
For many years, we thought that it's not going to arrive there, or it's unlikely to spread there. However, if you know anything about infectious disease, you know we're not living on an island.
What is known as the silent pandemic, antibacterial resistance is continuing to harm. A recent CDC report shows that 2.8 million people had antibiotic-resistant infections in 2019. Almost 40,000 of those died. Charles Weimer, a pharmacy student, says professionals are teaching the students ways to help.
It's really important for all patients who are prescribed any kind of antibiotic to finish the entire antibiotic prescription and not to stop even if their symptoms decrease.
Other suggestions include not throwing your prescriptions out and asking your doctor for alternative treatments. Kasem and his team will gather more samples around Georgia and the U.S. to see how widespread the issue has become in America. For Grady Newsource, I'm Abby Buston.
Brown's Barbershop is one of the oldest Black-owned businesses in Athens. Grady Newsource reporter Amra Wariat visited the barbershop to share the story of a business that has thrived for decades.
Brown's Barbershop started a little over 70 years ago. Located at the intersection of Washington and Hull Street on Players Corner, Brown's Barbershop has been able to stay strong with consistent customers even with more competition coming to Athens. Antonio Brown is the grandson of the original owner and started working at his grandfather's barbershop when he was 16.
And, you know, really just putting out quality work. I would say the most of it, you know, like I sort of like the change in Athens. You know, the new visions, the students. You know, you see like how the years, how things done changed. The haircuts have changed. People ideas done changed. You know, sometimes change is good.
Brown's barbershop originally started at the historic Morton's Theater before moving to their current location and still attracts new customers today. Hospitality services, which include barbershops, in Northeast Georgia faced a 20% unemployment rate during the pandemic, but Brown's was able to stay afloat. Antonio Brown said that the shop is a safe place for people to get together and catch up outside of their personal lives. Jason is not an Athens native and first started getting his haircut at Big Mike's, another barbershop.
They had a higher rating, so I came and checked them out, and it's pretty good. It's like, you know, they have like all types of haircuts from the old style to the new, and
Athens remains to strive in the new age of hairstyles and has been able to make its mark in the community. Amro Warayat, Grady Newsource.
Up next, we'll hear about which former Georgia football player led their team to victory at Super Bowl 56.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
I was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
And now, sports.
Welcome to Grady Sports. I'm Oz Marin. What a year for the Georgia Bulldogs. Our very own former quarterback, Matthew Stafford, led the Los Angeles Rams to Super Bowl victory with 23-20 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Stafford completed 26 of 40 passes for 283 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Cooper Kupp was named the Super Bowl's most valuable player. Sunday marked another milestone for the Georgia Bulldogs as they extended their record for national best 21 straight years of having a player on a Super Bowl roster. Go Dogs. Also on Sunday, the Georgia's men's tennis team traveled to Atlanta to take on rival Georgia Tech, defeating the Yellow Jackets 4-3. The Bulldogs are now 5-1 as they head to Seattle, Washington from February 18th to 22nd to participate in the 47th annual ITA Team Indoor Championship. The Clark County Central varsity basketball team lost their away conference game against Walnut Grove by a score of 57-46 on Friday. Currently, Clark Central ranks at number 5 for basketball standings for 5A Region A as they head into the region tournament. That's all for sports for today. For Grady Newsource Sports, Oz Marin.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Good evening and happy Valentine's Day. We had a beautiful day today with clear skies and a high of 56. For couples or even friends planning to go out tonight, be sure to bring a jacket as temperatures will drop to a low of 31 degrees. Now, we will see these clear, sunny skies and temperatures into the 60s until Wednesday. Wednesday night, we're expecting showers through Thursday night. On Friday, the rain will subside and we'll see those sunny skies again. Now, Valentine's Day is the perfect day for sparks to fly, figuratively and literally, as this cool and dry day are the perfect conditions for a fire. Now, if a fire does start, we've got you covered with some tips to keep you and those around you safe. First, dial 911. Let the operator know that there is a fire, your location, and what caused it. Also, keep fire extinguishers handy in case a fire breaks out. And lastly, get outside. Remember to always save yourself first. And if you have any questions, contact your local fire department for more information on how to prevent fires today. For today's weather with Grady Newsource, this is Brianna Smith.
Coming up next, UGA Union hosts its Valentine's Day event, Bulldog Valentines, to help spread love and positivity.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason. Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Do you have your eye on someone but can't find it in yourself to confess your affection to them? Grady Newsource reporter Melissa Garcia tells us how UGA Union has an answer for you.
Pink and red candy, as well as love-themed cards, were free to take for anyone that wanted to wish that special someone a happy Valentine today at the University Union Bulldog Valentine's event in Tate Atrium.
A lot of people can see a crush or see someone that's done something really impactful for them without telling them. So this is a chance to give back.
The Campus Crush Board is used for those that don't have the words to say to those they admire. The people walking around Tate can also have words of love and positivity to read as they walk by. In addition, there are people who believe self-love is just as important and are making today extra special for themselves.
For me, it'll be a day of self-love. So just doing things for myself, which I do every day anyway. So Valentine's is just that one day that everybody acknowledges it.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Melissa Garcia.
Hollywood is coming to downtown Winder again. Madison Cook tells us more about the film production's impact.
Winder is to become a set for linear movie production.
Winder has not, it's now starting to get some excitement over it as far as movie production, because we have a lot to offer, I think, with our downtown.
Not only are Barrow County citizens excited for this film production, small-town businesses such as July Moon are excited for the economic benefit.
We're growing. We need more people to come here, so I think it's going to help bring more business to all the local businesses around.
Regarding the actual filming is set for March 14th between times of 3 p.m. and 12 a.m. 3 of the alleyways between North Broad Street and North Jackson will be filming locations. East Jackson Street will be closed and 4 parking lots will be closed off as well during the filming. Madison Cook, Grady Newsource.
I'm Lauren Tier, and this is Grady Newsource. Thank you for watching, and have a nice evening.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
guys a wonderful second live show. We had just a few technical issues. Again, we sort of met our deadlines. I'm going to let Harper speak and tell us how we did from his point of view.
Y'all are really quick learners. You guys are always on deadline, which is so nice for us and so nice for y'all, because it alleviates a lot of stress, right? As far as like technically what went wrong with the show is out of y'all's control. We were trying to do something that would allow y'all to live maybe and like click through your slides, so you don't have to worry about that damn board messing up every time, which happened to a couple of our reporters today, where that smart board was acting up. Another thing, the TriCaster crashed like 11 times today. So I'm just happy that we were able to get a show up, because I wasn't even able to like get on to the computer for a while there. And that kind of like messed up a lot of like the coloration and stuff. So I think there was like a couple slides during weather where it was like things looked wonky, or like our anchor Lawrence like coloration today at the desk, especially during her recording, probably what we'd like it to look like. But we're going to get it straightened out. And I think the rest of the broadcast went really, really smoothly and really, really well. Special shout out to our director, Michael. It's his 21st birthday today.
Happy birthday, Michael.
I don't know if he's still in there, but he wanted to direct for y'all today. So yeah, but that's all I got. So great show, guys, and they're only going up from here.
Thank you, thank you. Very well done. And thank you for everything you did to somehow get that show on the air, despite all the difficulties. I'd like to, I think Matthew did a great job. Is it really the first time you're producing? My goodness, you're a quick study, and he just got, you know, the idea of the logic and the flow of a show, and timed it out just right. So tell us how this, what did you learn about producing? What would you like to pass on?
So yeah, I guess what I learned is I should probably know the actual times of my packages a little more.
You can't do this. That's why we do estimated, and then you never know until you're there and you start that timer what your situation is. But the estimated time does give you an idea, more or less, early on, so that you can order some more packages, some more content, and work with that. I really liked how you came, and hey, we did our first live. Well, it wasn't outside, but it was in the studio, and that was Matthew's idea, and I really appreciated. He came prepared with that idea in his mind, and Cole was brave enough to be our first on live Q&A. The smart board didn't cooperate with you quite. You recovered. The only thing, the Q&A, before I hand over.
You're good.
The Q&A, before I forget, I liked the interaction. Both of you, initially you were looking at the wrong camera, but that was not your fault. But look at the camera which has the red light. As long as you look at the camera, that'll be great. One thing, I wanted you to smile a little bit more. Hey, it's the Super Bowl. Just like you wrote that amazing lead. I love the lead. I love your idea, everything. But I expected you to be excited, maybe because it's your first live in the studio, so I understand. But next time, try to smile. Just kind of get yourself into this wonderful story that you wrote, this great, lead that was so inspired. I loved it. When you do live Q&A, the anchor always thanks the reporter at the end, because it kind of looks awkward. It's like, okay, I'm done with you, and I'm continuing to read the rest of the script. So there's more interaction. The more interaction there is between the two of you, the better off it is. But it worked out great. I always have to nitpick on something. But always thank a reporter who's live on the field. and that's for everyone. But it worked really good. You did a great job as an anchor. You were inspired. You had the energy. Wonderful. You dressed. I love this elegance, and you guys have been doing, the simple, not too much, patterns and stuff like that. Just a simple thing. And again, you can develop your own style. You don't have to, listen to me. But I really like the way you've been dressing, all of you. Very nice, because that matters as well. I talked too much, didn't I? I think, Matthew, it's back to you.
I think we did a good job, communicating. That's what I was trying to do most of the day, was just trying to make sure everyone was okay. And for the most part, it was stress-free until probably the last 30 minutes. But I didn't think it was too bad. I kind of liked it.
Good. Because you know what they say, news directors say, if you can produce, you always have a job, because you can work your way into any other position once you get your foot in the door through producing. And they're always looking for producers. Well, they're looking for TV MMJs right now as well, but it's a good skill to have. And I'm glad that you liked it. You guys are multi-talented. You can do so many things, and I'm really excited for all of you, and I'm just kind of proud that I have so much talent here in this room. Anything else, Matthew, you want to share? Any thoughts?
No, just thank y'all for a good show. It went well.
I think so too. For our second live show, plus we made a step forward, so let's keep making those steps forward and raising the bar a little bit more with every show. And again, as we talked this morning, each producer, remember to write the roles of each person in the pitch sheet, the names and the roles, so that we don't have some confusion. We did have a little bit of confusion, people looking at the wrong schedule and thinking that they're doing something else. So in order to avoid that, that's the way we used to do it up to now. But you guys, the first producer, did not put in the roles, so I thought, well, let's see if you enter the roles yourself, how it's going to work out. And I think we should go back to the producer, making sure, double-checking the schedule, and writing all your names and roles in the pitch sheet. I think that will work better for everyone, so we don't miss someone. We didn't have a sports pitch this morning of all days on Super Bowl day. We had no sports pitch. So because Oz thought he was a TV MMJ, he was looking at the wrong schedule, and somebody else was looking at the wrong schedule. But anyway,
we got there.
Oz, you're overly prepared for your next one when you're a TV MMJ. So I want to hand it over before I want to wrap up and have you talk more. In general, guys, I don't like to talk about everybody's work until I've watched it thoughtfully, carefully, and I want to give you some thoughtful feedback. But there were some general comments that I can make that I noticed in quite a few packages. I noticed that there was uneven audio in quite a lot of the packages. So be careful, listen to your package before you feed it, and if you notice that there's uneven audio, correct it. I saw a lot of great B-roll, a lot more creativity with the way you wrote, the way you started your packages, the way you set up your sound bites. I worked with some of you on the flow, the logic and flow and broadcast style, which is normal at this point when you come to me from print and from more essay writing, that we have to work on that. But some of you had a lot of fun with your packages, with Abby with her with her sewer thing. It was inspired. It was, she had a lot of close shots, which really, tight shots, which really helped tell the story. So always when you can do that, that really helps. Yeah, and Amra, I thought that this was, much improved, and you just developed, and you're growing, and that's good. I have to look at your package again, but Hallie also, I really liked. That wasn't an easy one. Danielle took on a very, very complicated story. There are a few things that I could have some suggestions. The black-owned businesses, that was a very nice package. Weather, I like the way you interacted with the board that wasn't quite cooperating with you. You had a little smile. Basically, you were natural in front of that smart board. I think you like it. And the sports for Oz was, the smart board was not smart at all. It was so dumb that it was not even. Oz, are you listening to me? You're not ignoring me? Okay. But he did his best, and sorry it wasn't cooperating for you. Yeah. I liked in the socks package, I really liked how his kid popped into that was so cute. I really liked that. Yeah, I like that. But again, guys, even when you're doing a wonderful profile piece on a wonderful person, his daughter doesn't count as the second. The second source. And she's so, maybe if you had asked her a question, you could have gotten away and told me, Professor V, I have a second source. That would have been cute, actually. Yeah. No, it's fine. But always think of a second source. Like in a profile, there is no other side of the story of this extraordinary person, but there could be somebody who knew that person. It just adds more depth to, and we do more justice to someone like that. So always think of the second source. Cole, just, you did a great job, and you were brave. The only thing I would have suggested for you was to interact a little bit more with the smart board that was kind of playing dumb when you were also trying to to play. But it was, everybody was inspired, was, I don't want to, Hallie, you did a great job. I mean, everybody did a great job. Everybody, I'm seeing you guys growing and developing. Melissa, nice lead, very inspired. It was cute. We just worked a little bit on getting a transition from one thought to another. I could tell you had fun doing this, and it showed. So, but again, I'll give you more feedback once I've looked at everything. Maddie's package also came together, very, very nice stand-up. The second soundbite was very well framed. Guys, avoid audio shots. If you have to play an audio shot, then try to make that like the second one in your package. Try to have a visual, like the person's. They sort of drag your piece down. And so if you can avoid audio shots, if you can't, try to have them a little bit later. Show the interesting thing first. But all in all, I'm very happy with what you guys did. Want to give the mic now, Matthew. If you can give the mic to the digital producers, hear from them, and I want to hear from you guys. Any thoughts? Anything you want to pass on?
Just thoughts on digital producing today?
Yeah, how did the day go?
It went well.
Point of view?
It went well. Elle's currently not here, so it was kind of hard to communicate sometimes just because since she wasn't here, and she was doing Instagram and Facebook, and I was doing Twitter and YouTube. So, but everybody that I did talk to today that I asked to give me stuff, whether it be an SOT or just information about your package, you were very helpful. Everybody did a really good job of being timely in their responses, so I wasn't having to wait on anybody. Honestly, y'all responded all probably quicker than Dr. Bright did today because she was apparently pretty busy. So, I mean, on that, it was good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
And what were the stories that that made it on social today?
So we did a little bit. We did a blurb on the UGA Union doing the Tate Student Center on Valentine's Day. Put that on Twitter. We also did a little blurb on Matthew Stafford being a UGA alum on Twitter.
That's good.
And then we did some behind the scenes on an IG story live for Oz because he was the sports and it was the Super Bowl yesterday.
Oh, nice, nice.
So we put that up there. And then I'm not sure. There's a couple other things that Elle put up on either Facebook or Instagram. And I just
Okay,
haven't
I'm
looked
gonna
at it
take
yet.
a look also. I'm curious. Guys, the mic now belongs to you. I want to hear from you. Hallie, I'll keep mine, but you take the mic and pass it on to the next person who wants to talk.
Okay, so this weekend I got a bunch of calls about like some of you guys wanting to reach out to senators and whatnot. My biggest thing for you is what Cantrell told me. Call the PR office. Call them. It's their responsibility to get in contact with you. You're not nagging them. I know Adrian and I talked about this on, Friday, I guess. Reach out to them. It's super, I thought it was going to be really hard to get an interview with the person I was talking to, and I was really kind of nervous about it, but they will respond, so just keep pressing them. But 9 times out of 10, they should speak back with you. So I think it went smoothly. I think it looked good.
Yeah,
If you have any questions.
excellent advice. The people who are, the communications, sometimes they call themselves communications or public information officer. That is their job, to be your connection to the person they're representing. That's their job. They have an interest to get media attention. Of course, they have to trust you, but as Hallie is saying, they will respond, but they might not respond immediately. Right now, I'm setting up some guests for another course that I had to pick up in mid-semester. And I can tell you for one of the topics, I contacted 5 people, a PR person and all sorts of people, and I only got one response from someone who said, I can't help you, but I know so-and-so who can help you, and I will forward your email to that person. And that person came back to me, and he was the only person who actually, I needed one guest, right? But I reached out to 5 people because I need that guest for next week. So just to give you an example, not to give up, to, you can always follow up.
Mhm.
If they don't respond in 2 days, now don't be overly pushy, right? Give them some time. And that's what I did with a second topic that I was looking for a guest. I gave the person 2 days, they did not respond. And then they responded Saturday night. Obviously, they caught up with their emails on Saturday night, and I immediately booked them. And so just to give you an example that sometimes you have to wait a few days. So when you're doing a package, give yourself a few days at least before the package is due to line up those people, because it just doesn't work if you don't give it a few days, if you don't contact a lot of people, especially if you're on a deadline. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am. And another thing is you want to contact them probably 3 days in advance. The PR lady got back to me like ASAP for this man, for Senator Ginn. But again, a lot of the times they fly by the seat of their pants. They don't know their schedule. They're going to expect you to set it up. And I had something else, but I forgot
Make it
about it.
as easy as
It's easy.
possible. Make the email like I
I called
spend
them.
a lot of time, or call, yeah.
Call. Always call. I would say
Mhm.
call them over email because they're going to look at that email and their legislative assistant is going to respond to that. They are not. So, when you introduce yourself on the phone, don't tell them you're a student reporter. Just say, I'm a reporter with Grady Newsource. I didn't think that was going to get me anywhere, but they knew exactly where I was coming from. They didn't question me. They said, yes, we'll get right on that. And she called me back later that day. So,
Yeah, and that's
good luck.
Yeah, that's good because the people before you have, won some trust, and that helps all of you.
Honestly, guys, this was a pretty good show. Obviously, we overcame a pretty rough start by me. So if you're going live, just make sure you look at the camera with the red light on. Make sure you do that. And yeah, I accidentally pressed the back button on the smart board. So
It
yeah.
happens to the best of us. Yes.
Rough start, but it was a pretty good show. So good job, guys.
And thank you. That was, it takes a lot of courage to do this. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up. You did a great job. That's how we learn, and it's not easy there right? It's live there, and it's your face. And you recovered, when the smart board was dumb. So, would you like to say something? Or am I putting you?
No, it's okay. I really, really enjoyed my time as anchor. I thought it was a really great experience, and just wanted to say thank you to all of you for writing wonderful leads. I had a lot of fun with some of the stuff that I got to say on air. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it to anybody. Obviously, it's a little nerve-wracking at first, but eventually you kind of just, I don't know, go with it, because you don't really... I really just read through the leads ahead of time and made sure I was pronouncing people's names correctly, made sure there weren't any words in there that I didn't know how to pronounce, and yeah, so I would just say, like an hour before the show, go ahead and read through your leads and ask people questions. But yeah, you guys made it really easy on me, and I really had fun reading some of the stuff that y'all had, so thank you.
Very good, but I totally agree. You guys are getting very good at leads, and those I hate to use this word sell, but they do sell your content, your packages, so people want to watch them. We had also, I thank you for both of you, Matt and Lauren. You had the pre-show teas had some visuals. What did you guys think? Were you able to see the pre-show teas, or you weren't able to turn on? Yeah, I think it worked. I have to look at it again, but better because we had this. And let's strive for having a mini soundbite in the next one. Let's also strive soon to have a live shot outside. And again, live shots, we don't do them for the sake of doing a live shot. There has to be a location that's relevant, something that's happening right now. There has to be a reason for a live. And so think about these things when you're pitching stories, that those are the next steps that I would love for you to try out, a possible live shot. For all of you who are doing packages, to think of interesting sound bites that could work for the pre-show teas, that kind of grab memorable sound bites that could grab people's attention. Also for social media, think of things that you could offer, like with a caption and a sound bite that's memorable. I saw a lot of more dynamic B-roll with people doing something, less buildings, but I also saw a little bit of shaky video. Try to have a tripod and be slower. Try not to pan, and if you have to, keep it to a level where you, as the viewer, are comfortable. Just think of always you are the viewer, and if you are, going very fast and then you see it and it's uncomfortable, it's going to be the same way for your viewers. So I would suggest that you watch out for those dizzying, sometimes dizzying and sometimes shaky B-roll. I told you about the uneven audio. But otherwise, I'm really, really happy with your progress. This is just our second show. And we will keep moving forward from that. we've got 5 more minutes. I'd love to hear more from you guys. I just love hearing your ideas. Anybody has any ideas, anything we can do on Wednesday, or any thoughts on how we can do things differently, or something that we did really well that we should develop and we should keep, or something that you want to ask about all of us to give you feedback, some challenge that you had, and anything that we can help. Nobody wants to speak? Well, for Wednesday, I would really love to get more feedback from you guys. I really want you to talk to each other, to share things that you've learned, things that you want to do differently, because everybody learns from this. That's why I did a little bit of critique this morning, because everybody learns from when we share things, when we point out certain things and ways of doing things differently. It doesn't work otherwise if we don't have that kind of interaction. So I see you guys are tired. Ansley, you're producing Wednesday. Anything you would like to say to everybody as you get ready to? Have you produced before?
Sorry. If you guys could just continue communicating with me on Wednesday. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yes, and then I'll try and send out the pitch sheet tonight just to give you guys a lot of time to get those in. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. For producing, Matthew, do you have any advice for me? Yeah, you were like very calm. I feel like I'm gonna be kind of freaking out. So what would you say to help me through that?
Just people are gonna reach out to you, but you mostly have to reach out to them.
Mhm.
And most of the time, I was just walking around here, being like, "Y'all good? Y'all good? Good." So just reach out to them, make sure they're doing okay, just so you can know what's going on.
Sounds good.
Basically, you've got to be on top of everything, like pitch sheet the night before, be very much up to speed on the latest news, so that you can, usually you will get a lot of feature stories by 8 p.m. and start thinking of what is the latest news. Like, we had the Super Bowl, we had Valentine's Day, and people were really good at figuring out that these would be big stories. Black History Month. So he was lucky in a way that people were thinking in terms of newsworthiness. But when you wake up in the morning, there could be a story that just broke, or you have too much feature content. So you want to make sure that you're well read in the morning, again, read in the latest, so that you start thinking, what will be my top story? How do I make it interesting? Who the news gatherers can help me get there? And things like that, so that you start from the very beginning, basically assigning content. And you can turn around somebody who has a nice featurey story, but actually there's some news breaking. So you ask them to set that aside and work on a breaking news story or a developing story that really matters. And think of your audience, what matters to our audience, and that will guide you. So that would be my advice, and I look forward to working with you as the producer. But basically, you are the manager. You're the hands-on manager, and you make sure you have all your content. Everybody's pitched. If they haven't pitched, remind them. You make sure that you've got what you need, and we will cooperate, and I will help you but that's what I would say. So it's 6 o'clock, guys. Thank you very much. Great job. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. And let's do this again on Wednesday.